It's Em the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to another Crochet and Crafts tube. And today I have the same two projects as the last time. However, I made a bigger progress than I thought I would. So I'm having a really nice streak and I hope it continues like that, because the summer is finishing, so it will be much more difficult to work like that later on. So first I've got the blanket, the Beatrix blanket, and as you can see it's really big now. I'm on the 37th row of the first repeat, like the first I made the first pattern and then the repeat. So I have not even 5 rows left of the repeat, and I wanted you to see that part because this is where the colors started getting really matchy, because this one got to blue from this kind of teal, and this one, whoops, this one went from blue to teal, and that's why up there you have those rows where it's a bit more difficult to distinguish between the two colors, and suddenly the pattern kind of changes. There, for example, in this area, you can see that when you have those twirls, they're teal, and then the sort of triangle above them, it should be the same color, but it changes to bluish. And this is because the colors of the yarn changed. I ended up cutting a little bit of the yarn. I took it from the big one, so from this one, because this one will soon finish and I have one more full cake to go. So I decided to use that, and the pattern, well, maybe not the pattern itself, but the designer suggested that if you don't like those two colors together too much, you can cut even from both 1 to 2 thread changes. I ended up cutting 2 yarn changes. At first, when I noticed how close these colors were, I thought they were exact match, and that's why I wanted to cut just 1 thread change so that they weren't identical, but it turned out that at that moment they weren't identical yet. So I ended up cutting 2 yarn changes, and they were so close that it cost me a lot of frogging. I had to really, I made a lot of mistakes with counting, with getting the correct yarn, because when you see the pattern, like here in this area or around here, you kind of see where each color should go. You more or less are able to notice the shape of the pattern and where you're supposed to be. With that color change, when there isn't much difference, especially when you look at it from really close and you don't see the whole of it, it's really difficult to notice that. That's why, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes there that I noticed when I was getting to those markers, and I could see that I'm getting to the marker, but I'm not at the correct space that I should be. I was missing a stitch, or I added a stitch, so that caused a lot of trouble. But I'm after that. As you can see over there, when I'm in half of the row already, you can see that the shades are getting more distinguishable. The background, or the color A, is yellowish, this more teal color. I don't know why I said yellowish. And the background, or the pattern, so yarn B, is blue. Maybe not very blue, but more blue than green, because there's not a lot of green left in there, in the thread. So I'm after the worst part of the pattern, I guess. So I hope to have it easier. I guess without the frogging, I would get to the end of the repeat, but I didn't manage really to get there. Now I'm wondering, because I'm almost at the second number, like the second go with the pattern. There's only one left, and then there's more or less the same amount of stitches that I did in this repeat. So I'm at the half of the blanket, it seems, and that seems really short. So I'll have to see whether I will continue doing the repeats, just because I think that the blanket might be too short. I mean, I know it's long enough already that it almost doesn't fit into the camera. I have a new tripod which is taller, and that's why I can show you bigger projects now. But still, it's already almost off camera at some points. But it seems short still. I know there will be a border and it will lengthen it up, but I don't know. I mean, I'm using a smaller hook than it says in the pattern, but I wouldn't get to the correct gauge otherwise. So I don't know what's happening. We'll see when I get there. I know that some people decided to lengthen it up. I was thinking maybe to not finish in this row where it sort of suggests, but to get to like the full repeat. So that would lengthen it up for about 5 rows. It's not a lot, but you know, 5 rows is a few centimeters, or like 2 inches, I think. So it is something. We'll see. I really don't know how things will continue. I don't know how much yarn I'll have left. We'll see just what will be happening. Okay, and the second thing I was doing was the diamond painting, and I managed to get to the end of the row, which is great. Because I was wondering whether I would be able to do it by the end of the holidays. And I did. It's not even the end of the holidays, and I'm there. So that is great. The whole row is done. The 2/3 of the pattern are done. In theory, there is a chance, if I continue working that well, there is a chance I'll finish the whole project this year. But I wouldn't count on it that much, because the holidays are finishing. I won't be able to spend so much time doing all the crafts. And honestly, blanket is a bigger priority right now, considering how the prices of energy and the prices of heating have gone up. Who knows what will be in winter, and it's possible I'll need a lot of blankets, maybe some sweaters, to survive the winter without getting into debt. So, yeah, if I'll have to choose between what I'll be doing, I'll choose the blanket. That's why I wouldn't count on the diamond painting being finished this year. It would be great. I mean, I will try, but it's a lot. It is a lot. It is much better now that I have a normal table. Much more comfortable to work on it. So I can really do larger pieces. By larger pieces, I mean when I like unstick this. Yeah, there is some kind of piece, and for example, I can go thin or I can go wide, and now because it's more comfortable, because I can sit at it for longer periods of time without everything hurting, I can do wider pieces at one time, and I don't have to take so many breaks while doing it. So it might make things easier for me, but I would have to see like how many weeks there are left in the year, so into how many pieces I would have to divide the whole row to get there this year, and if I would be able to stick to it. I want to work on it because I need something to take a break from crocheting, for example, because it gets boring. I have to say, when I was crocheting so much, like 2 days ago, I mean 2 days before the end of the week, I was getting bored with crocheting. So it is nice to have something else, like completely different thing to work on. But I just don't know if I'll have the time to focus on a piece for longer time to be able to finish it. So I'll see. I will sort of do the countdown, and maybe I'll be able to make it this year. It would be great. It really would be great to have another finish, because like I said at the beginning of the year, I want it to be the year of finishes. I want to finish maybe not all of the projects, but most of the projects that I've started this year. No, not this year, the previous years. And I managed to finish some. I managed to finish the scarf. I managed to finish the sweater. I managed to finish the Hogwarts crest, the cross-stitching project. So it's working, and I want it to continue. That's why it would be great if I managed to finish this piece as well. We'll see what life will bring. I guess like the goal, the minimum that I want to achieve now that I've got to this area, the minimum I want to achieve is get to half of the row this year. That's the minimum, because that would mean that in 2023 or 2023 I'll definitely finish if I don't lose it again. But in this apartment I shouldn't lose anything so easily, so it's doable, definitely. And yeah, this is it. On camera it doesn't look as shiny as it does in person, but it's also maybe because I sit at a slightly different angle than the camera, and I see a bit more sparkle, but it's still a pretty picture. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, it's always appreciated. Leave a comment down below if you want to say anything. Consider subscribing if you want to see the progress of all the projects I'm doing, and also my cross-stitch projects. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!